Good evening. Well, let me apologize for the lighting situation here. It's y'all know it's winter time now, so we losing light at 5 o'clock. So I had some things to do today, but I want to get in here and do this Queen Sugar real quick, because if I ever do in some future date want to go back over the whole thing, I don't want to be missing pieces. All right, so I hope the light's okay. It'll be okay. It ain't like I'm pretty or anything. You ain't missing much. Okay, so it opens up with they should name this one Poor Darla. Just when Darla was starting to get everybody to love her and accept her, another landmine. First of all, they already had to accept that she was a drug addict. They already had to accept that she had been with all these people and she was a prostitute. They had to accept all these things and learn to trust Darla. And now this bombshell we got last week, that possibly, now they don't say definitely that he is not Ralph Angel's son. Darn it. I hate the light. Okay. They don't say definitely. They say the possibility that it's not his son. Now, for me, I would have been absolutely certain before I broke that news on her. And even though they're all very... Look, let me just get to it. Okay, so it opens up with a Landry, the younger Landry guy, comes to see Charley, right? Charley and Remy are in the office talking. This guy shows up at the office. He is like a little bit under Sam Landry. Landry is the patriarch. God darn it. Boy, the light is just gone. It's 5 o'clock here. There's no light out of the window. All right. Sometimes we got to accept life for what it is. Okay, so this is the younger Landry. Apparently, Charley has taken quite a bit of his business. He said 40% of his business. She says 50%, and she wants it all. Now, I thought she was desperate just because the black farmers wouldn't bring her enough business. That's why she had to cross over and try to build up. But that was more of her mother's idea. Anyway, I got to get over this, looking at this thing. Okay. He comes in, young guy. Remy steps out so the two could talk. That's what the laundry dude wants. And so the Landry, after him and Charley go back and forth a little bit over the percentage of how much business he's taking from him. He suggests, I like your style, I like your wit. He's suggesting that they should go into business together. And she peeps that. She asks him, are you suggesting that I go in business with you? I would never. Charley's bold. I can admire her being bold and everything, but these Landrys seems like they're pretty determined people, and hopefully they're not violent people. So far, they have. I mean, a couple of tires have been flattened, but they haven't done anything serious. They haven't burned anybody's property or hurt anybody. But I wouldn't trust them. So anyway, she says, "No, there's no way in hell I'd do that." He goes off sulking. Of course, he's not finished yet. Neither is she. Next thing that happens is Ralph Angel calls a family meeting. He only wants to say this one time. He's going to tell everybody about the situation with Blue. So he calls the whole family together and tells them all that he is not Blue's father. And they all take it pretty hard, particularly on Vi. You know, Vi, she raised this child from an infant until he was kindergarten age to Ralph got out of prison. So they all love Blue, and particularly Ralph Angel. So I guess it depends on how you define love. How's he going to walk away from this kid at this point because he's not his biological father? If they love Blue, they love him. It's pretty much what Aunt Vi suggested to them. He's our kid. But they're all very angry at Darla. Now, I have mixed thoughts about it. First of all, telling him that he's not his father was not Darla's idea. It was her father's idea. She went along with it. Don't let nobody get you no wreck. If you're going to make a dumb decision, make it on your own, I think. Because now she's done made this decision to do what her father suggested, and all hell's broken loose. Now, of course, it would be even worse if they went on in their marriage and at some point he found out or she confessed to him later on. But I think he might have been better. I don't know. They knew she was a prostitute. They knew she was a drug addict. They obviously knew she had sex with other men. So any of those other men could have been a baby, but they weren't. Let me take a wild guess. This is going to be hard to get out of this one, right? What I would do as a writer, I would make Darla pregnant. I think that's what I would do. I would make Darla pregnant. Now, that way Ralph with his country ideas will feel like he has to marry her now. They'll have a biological child together, and he will raise Blue as his own. That's kind of where I feel like it's going to go. It should go. Now, we're almost finished. I think we only got next week is the finale. So whatever's going to happen is going to happen by next week. It's a 2-week episode. 2-episode week next week. Anyway. So it's a guess because the family is very hostile towards Darla now. First thing that happens is she talks to Hollywood, and even Hollywood's got an attitude with her because Hollywood was her ally. He's the one that loved her when nobody else loved her. He's the one that spoke up for her. And even him, he's giving her some attitude about this. Mainly, I think, because they know how deeply hurt someone like Ralph would be and is. All right, next thing happens is she goes into work. Poor girl. I just feel so bad about the situation with Darla. She goes to work and Charley fires her. She said, "There's no trust here." You know, you shouldn't even be able to fire. It should be because. Anyway, I'm not a woman. I don't totally understand these kind of things. I'm not even a family man. I don't know how to play a situation like that. But what happened. Charley comes in and fires the girl, told her, "I want you out of here in an hour." She did say she was kind enough to give her 2 weeks salary, 2 weeks severance. So they're not forgiven. And this girl's got to be hurt. Now, I'm hoping they don't let this girl use drugs again. She is in such a bad place where something like, in real life, something like that could happen. If she's desperate or not. Better to get high than to blow her fucking brains out. So I thought it was kind of hard the way they came on her so severely. So I guess her crime is not that Blue, she had a baby by some other guy who she doesn't even know who it is. But that for 7 years, she allowed them to believe that Blue was Ralph's son. Well, the subject basically has never come up because he's assumed that he was the father because he was with her at the time before he went to prison, right? Now, she knew, and somehow or other, her parents knew that it probably wasn't his son. I mean, Blue is a very light, I talked about this before. Blue's a very light-skinned kid. Obviously, Ralph Angel's very dark-skinned. He doesn't look like Blue, but he could have got his coloring from his mother. So we don't know. It's not. It's a possibility that she'll go. That would be a nice little ending since they got to wrap it up soon. She could go get a DNA test and find out that is his baby, because she don't know that it's not. I assume that he was having sex with her a lot more than this dude. She met at some party. He was doing it every day, and this dude did it once, and she assumes that the baby is his. So that's a good way. I kind of like that idea. They could do a DNA. It could be, and Blue could be the actual father. I mean, Ralph Angel could be the actual father. Okay. Next things, Landrys, they're not giving up, and they want to sabotage It's harvest time. So the Landry plan a story, get a rumor going. It's all over the line about there being problems at the mill and make people come back to their meals. It's a lie, but it's happening right on harvest day. So Charley storms off. She wants to go and see the Landrys. We don't see the face-to-face. I guess that'll be part of the next week's episode. But they have to talk Charley into fighting because she's it's the first time her knees start wobbling, wondering if she had a bit off more than she can chew, because the Landrys are never going to give up. They talk her into fighting. Not only Remy, but I believe it was Anvi, Nova. I forget what the conversation who was between, but they talk her in, and she goes and sees the Landrys. Next thing we see is Micah. Remember, Micah last week had that problem with this Civil War sword and display at his school. The private school, a lot of those things are coming down around public schools. So I get the impression that it's kind of a rule. You can't have those kind of things in a public school, but it's a private school. So he has to do it. So he prints up this letter and he puts it all over the school. And it works. There's a good and there's a bad. First thing, it worked. They're taking it down. They're taking down the display and the sword, removing it from the school property. The other thing, though, is because he wrote the letter and put it all around the school on school property, they're suspending him for 30 days. That's what the board wants. That's what this woman who's telling him about it is implementing. So he got what he wanted. Now, I don't know how intense his school is, but missing a month of school is kind of hard to catch up. So he's going to be pedaling real hard in order to finish his studies. Right. But at least they did do what he wanted. In this episode, we don't see him telling his parents about this. So we don't know how that goes down. I'm sure they'll be proud of him that he stood up for himself. And then, yeah, I'm sure that'll be all right. Remember, they got to wrap all this stuff up now. It's at the end of the season. And they got to start us off with something else, a cliffhanger for next season. Okay. Nova walks in up on Vi. Goes in and gets her pills, helps her with her pills, and Vi is still not very open about this lupus she's been diagnosed with, but Nova says she understands it. She's dealt with it before, apparently, and she has remedies and things she can do to help her, natural. Remember, Nova started off as a spiritualist, but at the beginning of the thing, we thought she was going to be like a voodoo woman or something, but they kind of that part kind of went away. And the fact she was selling weed kind of went away, and now she's going to help dealing with Aunt Vi. And Vi is agreeable. She said, "Yep, you'll be my helper." All right, so that's basically it. Sorry about the lighting, but I wanted to get in here and say something about Queen Sugar because we're approaching the end. I don't go all the way to the end and then bow out right before the finish line. Okay, guys. Talk to you next week.